Becoming pop stars. Becoming upstarts.
How can real estate agents really make a difference in people's lives? Like, for example, helping divorcees after a breakup to rebuild their lives.
Bring the color.
Today on Meet the Agent podcast, we have a very special episode. We meet Suz Hutchings, a Perth-based buyer's agent who's doing exactly that. I'm Wendy Clare of Suz Interiors. To get to know Suz, I started by asking her, how would your family describe you?
I left New Zealand when I was 17. So I feel like there's such a big gap of, my parents probably, they know who I am, but I've changed so much, like in the last 2 years, I reckon, like definitely since post-divorce, that I didn't even know who I was. Which is quite interesting.
That is a perfect answer. So true.
Like a really close friend that I've got connected with, funny enough, in that divorce separation time, we kind of fell into each other's lives. Like, a couple of years ago, she would say, I'm the most driven, motivated, probably positive, like go-getter person that she's extremely proud of, because she actually tells me that all the time. Like, and I don't see it. Like, she's like, Suz, you just don't stop. You've got all these dreams and goals. I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I love it. Yeah.
That's great. And that's exactly why I asked what someone else would say about you, because sometimes we're too humble, or we don't see and recognize, the great things about us. So there you go. Someone there saying, how driven you are. And I can tell that, which is great.
And I just get excited. Yeah. And it's funny when I'm mindful, when I do a bit of meditation or calming down, I'm like, oh, I move so fast. But I love it, because for me, that's where results and the energy comes from. Like, especially, in this industry, I just move really quick. But
go.
That's how I am, And then when I need to be calm and quieter, I try to.
Oh, yeah. You'd go really well in New York. So like fast talking and doing everything.
Yeah.
You're probably doing a million things at once. So you're multitasking, and you're probably more in control than a whole lot of other people. And that's why you're talking fast. And you're thinking fast, and you're 2 miles ahead.
Yeah.
My fun question as well for everyone, as I think you know by now, which music star most resembles you, or your vibe, your style?
I go very like up and down depending on, like, not my moods, but my music. Oh my God, I switch all the time. Like, I'm obsessed back in the 50s at the moment. Like, I'm listening, is it Bette Midler? And I love it.
Some say a home is a dream.
Yeah, she's such a powerhouse.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Some say it's filled with laughter.
And so full of soul. You don't hide those emotions with her, right? You bring them out and you celebrate them.
It's all out, definitely. I just had a conversation before with a real estate agent, and she just picked up the phone and she called me, and she wanted to learn a little bit about me, like whether it's on market or off market. I am all about alignment. I am all about my clients end up buying the house that is for them, like whether it's on market or off market. It's like they come to me quite stressed and upset, and I'm like, trust the process. Like, everything will be all right, because it always works out. So I probably drive my clients mad, going on and on about just trust me, trust the process. Because all my clients, it always works out. I always buy them the house that they love. I actually say to a lot of my clients, just give me a couple of weeks. Like, once you start working with me, within a week or two, you'll start to see that I really understand what they're looking for. And I get a real sense of like what they like and what they don't like. So then after a couple of weeks, you see they start to back off, like with sending me homes and everything, because they start to know, oh, she's got it. Suz knows what she's doing. Yeah, which is exactly what they should be doing. They've come to engage in my services, and I'm like, yeah, you're paying me to do this. So just go and watch, TV.
Preferably not home shows. No.
Yeah. And turn off all the notifications on your apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that's fantastic. Tell me a bit more about your clients then and this incredible
Yeah.
niche that you have found for yourself.
Yeah. It's funny. I definitely started this. I mean, I got into it because I was single, divorced, and renting and wondering where I was going to live. And that is who I started to feel so comfortable talking to. I was like, I help divorcees. Like, I need to help single people. And they are still my big target market. And then I have a very big target market of families. Because of Perth at the moment, it's so hard to buy property. So they're time poor, they're exhausted. But what I've found my niche is really becoming is the people, whether they're single or their families or whoever they are just frustrated. They're done with looking, they've got no time. So it's quite interesting how it's kind of revolved around. And that's purely based on what's happening in Perth because of the growth that we've got.
Wow.
That is exactly how I felt when I was looking. And if someone was able to come and do that for me, like, whether I was a single mum or whoever, happily married, whatever, if someone was able to come and take that pain and that stress away that I had of thinking, holy shit, I'm going to end up in a tiny home, which is still amazing, or I'm going to be looking, or where am I actually going to be living with my kids? Like that feeling, like it was heartbreaking. It was awful. And it's like, it's like it's your home. It's where you sleep like every night. And I just think that reality of how we hear of women like in their 50s who that homelessness rate is so high. I saw how easily that could have happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it happens slowly and then quickly all at once, that slide. It is scary. So you're really tapping into that need for security, I think, right? That's what's so important to everyone. Can you give me a story of one of your clients?
Absolutely. A beautiful client. She reached out to me, and how did she find me? I think it was on a Facebook. Oh, there's a Facebook group. So we got connecting, a beautiful family, 2 adults, 2 kids, and a dog with dogs. She'd sold the family home, but she'd sold it herself, like in this market in Perth. She was like, amazing, going to save on fees. And it sold so fast. And they put 8 offers on properties before engaging with me. So they were like, we've sold our house. Where are we going to live? So then her pain was, we're not getting offers. We're putting offers on houses and we're not getting anywhere. They had a Bali holiday booked. They had things happening like a Bali trip and just life. They were missing out on properties and they engaged me. And within 5 weeks, I brought them a property, but I did not stop working. Like I was like, I get it. Your situation is a lot. You don't want to have to go and pack up this house, move into a rental, and then pack again and then move into a property. So in 5 weeks we did it, but I actually brought for them while they were in Bali. So they actually went on that holiday and then I remember calling them that night. She was crying, I was crying. And it was just like the pure relief of like, you have a home to move into. Like it's so big. And I never take it, do you know what I mean, for granted? Because I'm like, we're buying people's homes.
And then, fly home to a new place to move into. That's perfect new beginning, isn't it? You often work with women navigating separation. So how do you balance the financial and emotional sides of property decisions?
That's such a big thing. And I find a lot of ladies do come out of a marriage as well, and they haven't even looked at finances. Maybe the hubby was doing all of that. So that's a really big thing. I felt it. I remember, like, with my ex-husband, like we both shared everything. But to step into a place on your own and go, I've got to pay the mortgage, the power bill, everything myself. It's huge. And then I remember the fears and the doubts around that. Like for me, it was like, will I even be able to afford to go on holidays? Will I be able to afford to go out for coffees with my friends? Just those little things that, fill up your life. So I do have women definitely express that fear and that concern and how do I actually make it work? Sometimes I think it's just talking about it, like talking to someone who understands and who's like that's why it's so powerful. So someone who's been through it and understands and then can see my like point B where I've ended up,
Yeah.
anyone can do that.
Yeah, you're a great example that you can get through it and you will. That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
And what about when
Yeah.
it comes to the actual properties then? Because I mean, this is something I was chatting with one of the agents about. He's very much an investment strategist. And it was sort of like, well, are your clients all doing it as an investment or are you working with owner occupiers? Because surely there's going to be that battle of, well, that one's a better investment, but that one I really love, you know? So I think when you're coming out of a separation, and as you said, a lot of women, particularly, we're kind of trained, sadly, to not take the lead and manage the money or to feel confident in that, even. When it comes to buying a house for them, a home, new home, how are you juggling that decision of the financial gain and value compared to, say, the aesthetics and the comfort or what they simply fall in love with?
Yeah, 100%. The emotion's such a big thing. It's funny because there are so many investment BAs and I have a lot of inquiries for investment BAs and I'm like, nope, I'm going to pass you on to someone else because there's enough good people doing that, crunching the numbers and doing that. I love working with the people who want the home to live in forever. It's still really important for me to make sure they're buying a good property, like, especially for due diligence, like I need to make sure, what's around social housing, flood, fire zones, schools, airport and everything. So it's super important to me that I present everything to my clients. So this is your options. But most of my clients will come to me and they know where they want to live. Like we want to live in that suburb because my school's there and the train line's kind of there. So yeah, I don't find it hard at all. I think it's more about it's really alignment. Like they end up buying the home that is for them.
It is so true, isn't it? You probably want to stay close to where you know, and yeah, schools are such an important factor, aren't they?
Yeah, the kids, the friends thing comes into it a lot, doesn't it? If they, separated parents, like friendships is everything to a lot of these kids. So I want to be near my mates, to bike to school and that.
And do the kids ever take part in the conversations with you? I mean,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll often go into open homes though, like with little kids, big kids, but I can be like, I remember one family, like mum and dad couldn't even get around the house, to have a look. So I'm like, grab the kids, like I take the kids and I'm like, let me hold you two, you go. Because, you've got half an hour to go look at this house that might cost $1 million. You've got this 30-minute window to make a huge financial decision. And they often are coming exhausted and with kids and you know what I mean? So I'm like, if that's part of my job, take the little kids away for a little bit. And I think it's important for the kids too.
Absolutely. And I can imagine there must have been an occasion or two where the kids have said, no, I really like the other one more. And that's got to be, I guess, part of the decision. I mean, it's their home as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. But I guess they're not paying for it. So I think if it was my kids, I'm like, shut up. You'll just live whatever I buy.
When you've got the mortgage and you get the paperwork done for me. So, Suz, what myths do you encounter the most about women buyers?
I feel like it's probably like when you go and buy a car. Like, when you go and purchase a car, maybe as a couple and there's a male, like the husband and the wife. And I feel like often the car salesperson always talks to the male, right? But it always ends up being often the woman making the decision. It's the same like when you're in property and you're buying a house or whatever your role is. Like, are we capable? Do we know what we're doing? And it's like what we do, I feel like, is just completely undervalued. It's a very male-dominated industry. Like, I don't know what the stats are, but I feel like we just get a lot more because we're very good at communicating and our empathy and our emotional intelligence, and you put all of that together and it becomes, I think, magic, to be honest, in this space. For me starting, I think it was like imposter syndrome to start with. It's like, oh, this is a new industry in Perth specifically about a buyer's agent. So to come in as a woman and then to come in as a woman, like in my own business, in a field that's so male orientated, because every open home I'd go to was a male and, but yeah, it was absolutely a challenge to start with. But I believe a lot of that all comes down to mindset. Like when you start getting a few wins and you start to show like evidence that we are damn good at what we do because of all those reasons that I talked about just, of who we are as people. And we can often juggle so much. Like we've got kids, single parents. I'm a single mum. I've got kids. I run a business. I was working full time a while ago as well. We can do so much. So it absolutely was hard to start with, but then you build up your strength and your confidence and then your mindset, 99% mindset, it can come like pretty unstoppable.
Definitely unstoppable. So branching off from that, what do you feel is your personal superpower, your uniqueness as an agent?
Sometimes I feel like it's the speed that I can do things quickly. Like if there's a priority and it's an off market, I'm there. Like I'm not mucking around. So I'll move really fast. And also I believe my communication. Like that phone rings, I'm picking it up. If I say I'm going to ring someone back, I will do that. And it's quite interesting. I get a lot of comments about that. Oh, you're really good at communicating. I'm like, it's sad because that's very basic things in the world, when you do really good service, but it's kind of like a baseline of this is how it's meant to be anyway. So people go, oh, that's really amazing. I'm like, well, it's quite basic customer service. So
you should have that from everyone. But
correct. In every industry. Yeah. Yeah. And I do believe it would be my trustworthiness. Like I'm very trustworthy. Like I can't lie. I don't lie about anything. That in this space, in one of the least trusted professions, car salesman, real estate, it's one of the least trusted. So I do believe I'm getting that really good, a lot of feedback. Oh, you're so genuine, Suz, and you're so real. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm going to tell you exactly what you need, what it is, black and white. Yeah.
Do you give a little tough love then, or say things that are really a bit hard for people to hear?
I probably do, but I probably don't also think about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I probably do actually, but it would come across in a very genuine way.
Good at delivering it in an emotionally intelligent way, in a sensitive, respectful way, then I'm guessing.
And I'm very good at like reflecting too. If someone says, I can very much reflect on, no one is perfect. Yeah, that's probably definitely my strength, which is exciting.
Absolutely. What's your real woman power move? Or is there no such thing?
I don't know. Like I think it's when you say empowerment, like it is that. It's kind of like us stepping into our power and just doing what we're good at, and whatever it might be though, whether it's real estate, buying, selling, there's some amazing, it's funny, there's some amazing mortgage brokers and settlement agents that I work with that are all women in their own business too. So you kind of see them and you're like, we're all doing it. We're all doing it in our own way, but doing it well.
I'm wondering if there's something about it too, which is, it's a myth that real estate is about property. It's about people, isn't it? And that's what you're talking all about, is people. And you're a people person. That's what I'm really picking up. You are so good at connecting and talking to people. And in the fundamental industry, it is about people, not property, right?
Yes. Oh, I love how you've put that. Yeah. So connecting, and then we just end up buying this $1 million house on the side.
Yeah. Whereas a lot of other people, they're focusing on the property and it's the listing and the this and the that, and maybe they're not kind of hearing and listening to the subtext or really understanding what's important to people because they're too busy talking about, the stainless steel kitchen or something else. I see that a lot in the property listings ads, like the way they even, I'm a filmmaker, so I notice this, but they zoom around to be also flashy. If I really want to buy that home, I have no idea what that room really would look like or feel like because you haven't shown me. When people talk about property, they're so busy talking about maybe land values or other things, and missing the heart or the goal and the objectives of what people are looking for, maybe.
Absolutely. It's funny you said that. So I said this a while ago, a few months ago. I thought we really need a real estate agent, a selling agent that was extremely honest, and there is a lot that I've met, but that shows the home exactly as it is. So often I'll see a home online and my clients will see it and I'm like, oh, it looks really fancy and lovely. But then you go into it and it's, they've obviously, some not photoshopping, but they've made it look amazing. So imagine an agent that is just purely showing you exactly what it is, and being very transparent. This is broken and this. Like I did go to a lady's inspection once and she was like, now letting you know all these things are not working. And I'm like, that is what people want. Like give us the honest truth, which they have to anyway. And that is how, again, people build trust because they're going to believe them because they're not hiding anything.
Interesting. That's right. And no property is ever perfect. There's always pros and cons. So why not be very upfront about those cons? And then you can really have the trust when you say to people, okay, this is not great, but look at all the other things that are so good about this place, that, people will listen to you then, won't they? I think that's
100%.
quite interesting too when you said about the properties, because I have to remember we need to chat about interiors too, but you've led us into that because there's this new thing of, well, it's not new anymore, but virtual staging or basically photoshopping furniture into homes. And it's a lot cheaper, and sure, you can make that picture look really great. But as someone actually pointed out to me with the perfect expression, it's clickbait. And isn't it the worst thing to turn up to a place and feel disappointed because it doesn't look like what you advertise? How how much do you really want to let people down? Like the first impressions that you have, I mean, some statistics say you've got 3 seconds. The most generous of them say you have 7 seconds to get that person to feel a connection and comfortable, and they will have made up their decision of whether they're interested genuinely or not in that home in 3 to 7 seconds. So do you really want to start with them going, oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's a disappointment. Yeah, I hate it. I know. I don't like it. The photoshopping, I'm like, oh, no, I'm sure that's great. I can see how my furniture may look, but yeah, that's not what I'm buying. So yeah, you had this idea of what it might look like already. And then, yeah, you're kind of disappointed.
the more
Yeah.
that the staging is at least what you're advertising. So, if you're going to have no staging, then have no staging in the photos. But preferably, I think if you can turn up to a home that has furniture in it that's done nicely to make people feel that comfort and take away that awkwardness of, oh my God, they're belonging. You're in someone else's world, in they're almost in their clothes, right? Because you're in the home they live in.
I completely agree. I just like it to be as real as possible to what you're buying. Yeah, full transparency. This is how it looks. Just keep it that way, and a lot of agents do. Like I hear them say, like, this is not working and that's not working and, that's not included. So that's great. Like, just builds the trust straight away. So, yeah, completely agree.
And I think you can still do that and also present a vision of what a home could be like and how, you can show it at its best self
Yeah.
with staging without having to hide things. What are some of the most odd, strange, unusual, memorable moments that come to mind that you've had in your career?
It's more of a sensitive situation. Like I've brought a couple off market, actually off a single mum who was incredible, but she was a single mum working shift work, 3 kids, and so the reason for her to go off market was, I don't have time to turn this house into a show home for people to come and walk through. So for me, that was more about the situation, about disrespecting. Like, it might be tidy, it might be clean, our different idea of clean is different to everyone. So I think it was more just understanding, but then that's so easy for me because I'm like, I get it. I'm a mum, my kids, my house, like it's chaos. So yeah, completely understand that.
So tell us a little bit more about your family. And what
Yes.
you love doing outside of real estate.
Yeah, all my family's in New Zealand, actually. So my little kids, I mean, I've got a sister here too, but I've got a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old, two kids. So they are incredible. They go a week so the kids and the dog do a week at my house and then a week at their dad's house. We have a really amazing co-parenting relationship, and I hear stories all the time of men who don't get to see their kids, pay huge amounts of child support. And I've never been like that. My ex and I have just had this, I feel like if you asked him, he'd probably be like, Suz drives me crazy. Like, I'm like, we get on so well. But it works, and it works for our kids. There was always times in the middle where it was tricky, but so we have this great life. Like the week that I don't have my kids, I feel like all I do is work and do my business because I'm so passionate and excited about it. But if I am going to do anything, I've got some amazing friends. My girlfriends, we go out dancing. We went to a silent disco. We do a lot of fun things together. I'm near the ocean, so I'm a beach person. Like, get me on my stand-up paddleboard. I need some more friends with some jet skis. I can just say that.
Okay, anyone listening? Got jet skis?
No.
Got a friend.
Not friends with benefits, it's friends with boats. I love the ocean. I love spending a lot of time by myself, actually. And I used to be very just very social in that. But I think a lot of the healing and growing through divorce too, I've changed a lot. I've stopped drinking alcohol. That's how my life now. So I love spending time by myself. I love it's really nice. When you separate and you go through this change, and it's not just about separating. Like, I feel like we go on this beautiful healing journey of becoming back to who we are, like who I am. And that's the place where I found myself. I'm back to living who I am. So now that's why I'm creating this beautiful business and creating my life, because we get the second chance at actually, as women, doing what I'm not just a mum and I'm not a wife. You know what I mean? I am Suz. I am this person. So I think it's empowering for women, whether they're divorced or whatever, just to get back to who you are, like who your soul kind of whatever your purpose is in life, and just do it and start living. And some women don't even know what that is. And I'm like, just think about what makes you happy, what you could talk about for hours.
So what's been a defining moment for you in finding what you're passionate about?
I remember the day I messaged my kids saying, guys, my kids, we bought this house, I got the house. And I remember writing, you finally have, mum has got a nice, her own house now, and dad's got his house. You've both got a stable home to live in.
So if you're looking for your happiness, then meet the agent.
Thank you so much for joining us, Suz. And thank you everyone for listening. I'm Wendy Clare of Suz Interiors. Join us next week for another episode of Meet the Agent podcast.